To day 10 of Halacha Yomi, Baruch Hashem. So we were speaking about melachot that start before Shabbat and finish on Shabbat. So on page 71, we're up to Halacha 112. One may set a timer from before Shabbat that will turn on an electrical appliance on Shabbat. Similarly, one may set an alarm on Erev Shabbat for Shabbat morning in order to wake up the next day, even though it will make a lot of noise. Okay, let's see, 164. Regarding setting a TV or radio on a timer in order to be able to watch or to listen to the programs being played on Shabbat, they quote a lot of sources, but basically these sources say that even though technically there's nothing wrong with that from the Malacha aspect, it's not in the spirit of Shabbat to be sitting eating osvo and watching the NBA. It's not proper to do that, or soccer, whatever it may have you, even though technically you didn't transgress any violation. It's not. There's a concept the Ramban explains. There's a concept of spirit of Shabbat, being in the ambience of Shabbat, and you have to create that environment. Okay. Furthermore, the Si Shmirat Shabbat Kilchata, who states this is considered zilzul Shabbat, is disgracing the Shabbat. Furthermore, there's a problem benefiting from work done on Shabbat by a Jew. In Israel, the sports and the news broadcasting is made by Jews. So there's a problem benefiting from the work done on Shabbat by a Jew. Even if there is only one Jewish person who works in the TV station that's being watched, then this is prohibited, since one may not benefit from halacha done by a Jew on Shabbat. I know, they're waiting, I know. In any case, even during the week, one may not have a TV at home, since it breaches the values of the Torah. I mean, again, the actual TV to put shiurim and to do other permitted things is allowed. It's the cable. It's what you watch on the TV is the problem. So it's not in the spirit of Torah to have these Netflix and all these shows, cable, satellite TV that you could see a lot of nonsense on. Okay, fine. So that's 164. Next note, 165. See, Grot Moshe was stringent if people will be able to hear the alarm from outside your room. However, most poskim are lenient. Halacha Brura. Okay, fine. See also Shabbat Ba'alacha Gada, who brings from Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, who rules that one may set an alarm on a cell phone as well, even with music, provided that one places it in a place where one will not accidentally forget at Shabbat and turn off the alarm. So if a person has an alarm on his phone that will go off by itself, he's allowed to have it play Shabbat morning to wake up because he set it in advance before Shabbat. 113, Halacha 113, strictly speaking, one may leave his phone or fax machine on even on Shabbat, even though there's a possibility that a non-religious Jew may call the phone and leave a message on Shabbat. However, it's praiseworthy to shut off the phone line and possible in order to prevent this from happening. Okay, so you didn't do anything wrong if you left those things on. 114, one may set up a trap, such as a mouse trap, before Shabbat, even though it may trap an animal on Shabbat. It's only considered trapping when you're actually involved in trapping the animal on Shabbat. Since you set this up before Shabbat, so you didn't do anything on Shabbat, it's allowed. 115, the laws of commanding and telling a Jew on Erev Shabbat to do melacha on Shabbat will be discussed in a later chapter called Amir al-Akom, telling a goy to do something on Shabbat. Okay, we finished with that. That's the first chapter. We're on to chapter 2, Baruch Hashem. Okay, great. Hadlakat Nerot Shabbat, page 73. Lighting Shabbat candles. Number one, both men and women are obligated to have light in their home on Shabbat. So this is a big thing because people think it's a ladies' mitzvah and therefore only women are obligated. No, if a man is living on his own and he's single, he has to light Shabbat candles also. Men are also obligated in this mitzvah. Happens to be women have the right when there's a people living in a home as a family. The women have the right to be the person who does the mitzvah. But let's say the wife is not be around. Let's say she's in the hospital for whatever reason, giving birth, or she's not feeling well. So then the men have to step up and light the candles. They are obligated as well, and therefore also when they live alone, they have to light it as well. So we're going to see more about this soon. There are essentially three reasons given for this mitzvah of lighting the Shabbat candles. Number one, oneg Shabbat, enjoying Shabbat, since one has enjoyment when the rooms of the home have light. The poskim add that for this reason the candle should be placed near one where one will be eating the Shabbat meals, because you got to enjoy from the light that you lit for Shabbat. Okay, then you have, this is the Rambam essentially. A was the Rambam. B, Kavod Shabbat, honoring Shabbat, lighting extra candle. One is showing the day is special. Right, people light candles to show the uniqueness. Excuse me. and the specialness of the day. So that's coming from the number 3, Talmud Bavli Pesachim 53b. See Rashi Masechet Shabbat 25b. Chovah explains that the honor of Shabbat is that one will be able to see while eating. Other Rishonim, like the Rosh and the Tur, say by having an extra candle, one is showing honor to the Shabbat, even though one does not necessarily need the extra light. See Orchot Shabbat explains that even according to the Rambam, it's possible that this mitzvah is also included in Kavod Shabbat, since one is showing that he's preparing for Shabbat by lighting a candle before Shabbat, since one may not light a candle on Shabbat itself. So besides for enjoying, like the Rambam says, there's also Kavod Shabbat, which is honoring Shabbat. And then C, Shalom Bayit, famous. This is famous. Having peace in one's home. By having light in one's home, it increases one's ability to have peaceful interaction and not tripping over things, etc. So all 3 reasons are true. Okay, number 2. Even if one has a candle already lit, you should put it out and relight it, and specifically in the honor of Shabbat. 3. The mitzvah of Adakat Nerod is such a great mitzvah. One who is especially careful to fulfill this mitzvah will merit to have children who are Torah scholars or daughters who will marry Torah scholars, because the mitzvah is a mitzvah of light. Light represents Torah. So if you do a mitzvah related with light, you'll zoche to have children who have the light of Torah. Number 4, the time of lighting Shabbat candles is a especially auspicious time for one's prayers to be answered. You just did a mitzvah. Every time you just did a mitzvah, like tzedakah, right? So that's an auspicious time to pray, and your prayers are that much more powerful. So therefore, a woman, after she's finished lighting, she should put her hands out and pray for her husband's health and well-being, and for her children's success in Torah and fear of heaven. Afterwards, she should also pray that the redemption should come speedily in our day. 7. See Rabbeinu Bechaya in Sefer Shemot explains that one's prayers are more likely to be answered when one prays after doing a mitzvah. Right? Okay, good. So there's a famous story where the Brisker Rav, Alav Shalom, where the guy asked him, give a bracha for my son, he should be Talmid Chacham, and a year at Shamayim. He had fear of God. He told him, it's not up to me, I can't give such a bracha. He says, what do you mean? So who is it up to? He said, how much Torah he knows, how much his father learns with him, and how much fear of God he has depends how much his mother cries after she lights the Shabbat candle. So you see how powerful it is for the children to get Yirat Shamayim, all depending on how the mother prays when she lights the candles. Number 5, after lighting Shabbat candles, it's a segula for childbearing, to have children, to recite the Haftarah of the first day of Rosh Hashanah, that discusses the story of Hannah. Hannah didn't have kids, and she prayed very much for Shmuel and Navi. So therefore, it's a segula to read that Haftarah after the Shabbat candles. 9. See, Kaf Haim adds, according to Kabbalah, one should give 3 coins to tzedakah, also by candle lighting. See, Akut Yosef brings from the Shla that and others that giving tzedakah before candle lighting is a segula for having children. So they should have a pushka by the Shabbat candles, and they should have a book to pray from at the Shabbat by the Shabbat candles. That way, you get all these wonderful segulot. Number 6 is a praiseworthy custom to give tzedakah before lighting Shabbat candles. Oh, that we just read that. I read the note out of order. My bad. Okay, so that was number 6. Number 7. Even though the Gemara says purchasing Shabbat candles takes precedence over purchasing wine, one who cannot afford to buy Shabbat candles and wine for Kiddush should buy Kiddush wine instead of the candles, since nowadays one may rely on the electric lights that we have at home. Likewise, if one cannot afford candles for the Mitzvah Chanukah and Shabbat candles, one should buy Chanukah candles first. Okay, electric candles, we cannot make a bracha if it's LED. If it's going to be incandescent, which is a real fire, so then you could make a bracha on electric candles or electric light. But if it's LED, there's a machloket, better not to say bracha. Number 8, there's no obligation for a synagogue to light candles in honor of Shabbat. Therefore, even congregations who have a custom to light candles in honor of Shabbat in the synagogue may not say a bracha upon lighting them. Okay, number 9, according to the letter of the law, one is only obligated to light 1 candle in order to fulfill this mitzvah. However, it's customary to light 2 candles, one corresponding to Shamor and one corresponding to Zachor. These are the 2 commandments Hashem says to remember the Shabbat, and Hashem says to guard the Shabbat. Okay, let's see 13. This is Shulchan Aruch Resh Samech Gimal. Halacha Brura adds the one who wants to light more than 2 candles should preferably light the main 2 candles a little higher than the others, and then light the rest of the candles in a smaller candle holder. So you should have a tiered candle lighting system where the 2 are higher than the rest and the extra ones are on our lower tier. Okay, some people have the custom to light 7 candles, some light 10 candles, and some people light an extra candle for each child that is born, in addition to the 2 candles of Zachor and Shamor. Okay. It's 14. Shlach Kadosh writes, there's a custom to light 7 candles, remembering the menorah of the Beit HaMikdash. And the custom is brought to Be'er Tev, name of the Rizal. Rizal says to do this, corresponding to 7 days of the week. And also, Kaf Chaim Mishnah Berurah say it's a number of candles corresponding to number of aliyot on Shabbat, 7 aliyot. Okay, 15. Megin Avraham Mishnah Berurah says that this number corresponds to 10 commandments. That's why some people light 10 candles. Yafei Lev says the 10 menorahs that Shlomo Melech made at the Beit HaMikdash. Okay, fine. Back in the Halacha, another custom is to light the number of candles corresponding to the number of aliyot of the day. So Shabbat will be 7, Yom Kippur will be 6, Yom Tov would be 5. And the Halacha Berurah says in the note at the bottom, this is the custom of his father, Chacham Ovadia Yosef, to light 7 on Shabbat, 6 on Kippur, and 5 on Yom Tov. So anybody who is able to fulfill this custom, Taval Bracha, but everyone should know the bare minimum is 1. Okay, we'll continue with these tomorrow. Baruch Hashem, day number 10. Allah Zaka Baruch. Have a great day, everybody. All the best.
Okay, so